The Saucony Ride has been given a massive overhaul, but have the changes made this popular daily trainer better or worse? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you. What is up, everybody, and welcome to FORDY Runs. My name's Chris Ford and I'm a running coach who likes to review running shoes here on YouTube, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new Saucony Ride 17. Okay, so the Saucony Ride 17 has received a major overhaul, and in this video we're going to be talking about what's new here versus the 16. We're going to be comparing it against the Triumph, and there's a good reason for that. We're also going to talk a little bit about the sort of ride and how it feels, the difference between this and the 16. Then I'm going to tell you things I like, things I don't like, and then we're going to sum it all up at the end and let you know what I think about the shoe after these initial runs. Okay people, so apologies, the shoe is dirty. I've literally just got back from another run in it and I forgot to clean them before I started filming this video. So hopefully you can get over that. But anyway, we're going to do the stats and features first because there's a lot of changes here in the 17. I wanted to get that done at the front end. Okay, so the biggest talking point on this shoe is that it's received now the Power Run Plus midsole. The previous version, the 16 and the 15, had the Power Run midsole. This has got the Power Run Plus, which was from the Saucony Triumph 20 and 21. And it's a completely different feeling midsole, and we'll come on to that. But it's been taken over, and now the Saucony Triumph 22 is getting the Saucony Power Run PB in that one. So they're sort of changing it all about in the Saucony lineup. Okay, so what else is new? Well, they've increased the stack height by 2mm. It's now gone up to 37 in the heel. We've got 5mm more width in the shoe as well, and I think that's good because it's added some stability. Now they've put the plus foam in here. We've got a brand new upper, which I guess will be the same what goes on the brand new Tempest 2 when that comes out. A great bit of lockdown, gusseted tongue, pull tabs being added on the back. Little bit of a heel counter, but not overly noticeable. We've got the XT900 on here, which is awesome. In terms of weight, it's just under 11 ounces in my UK 9.5, so it's put on a bit of weight. It's going to be about £135, $140, I believe, when it launches. It's a neutral daily trainer with 8mm drop, and I think that's probably about it in terms of the stats and features. I would say you've got to watch your sizing on the shoe. I wouldn't necessarily say it doesn't fit true to size, but it's a bit different to previous models, and it just feels a little bit narrower. I really noticed it the first time I put them on and ran in them, and the sort of second, third, fourth time I've kind of noticed it not as much, but it's still there. I think the advice I want to give you, if you have a particularly wide foot, just be careful, just be mindful of it when choosing this shoe. And there's also another thing that I've noticed. The arch is more noticeable in this shoe than the previous version. It's not as severe as what's in the Tempest, but it's definitely more noticeable. Now, you might want a bit more arch support, and it certainly feels like there's a little bit more here. It didn't put me off, I didn't get any blisters, or it didn't aggravate anything, but it was just more noticeable. So they're two things that I think you needed to know before we get into the next bit of the video. Okay, so in terms of the feel of it, this Power Run Plus midsole feels a little bit firmer than the one that's in the Triumph. Now I've got the Triumph here. This is the 21. This is actually the sort of sustainable version that they put out, and you'll see they're very similar. Stack height's very similar, foam looks very similar, width wise XT900 on both. Very similar looking shoes, but the Power Run Plus in this shoe feels a little bit softer. Now I don't know whether that's because of the sock liner in it, adds that feeling of cush. So I don't know whether it's that, but this foam definitely feels a little bit firmer. I might be just imagining things, but it just feels a little bit firmer on this Ride 17. But overall, they feel kind of the same-ish. The Saucony Triumph 21 definitely feels a little bit more plush, I would say. There's a little bit more, I don't know, built-in comfort to it, and that's not to say this is uncomfortable in any shape or form. And if anything, the comfort on this has been improved massively versus the previous versions. But that's probably the biggest difference. This still feels very much like a big cruiser that will just eat long miles. This feels a much more sort of daily trainer focused, which is a good thing. Okay, so let's get on to the sort of ride. Yeah, it's a little bit firmer, but it feels good. It feels like it's got a little bit more bounce. It's definitely a much better ride than the 16, much better ride than the 15. Feels more comfortable. And overall, despite the weight gain, it just feels, yeah, a little bit more bouncy, a little bit more alive. It's noticeably, you know, higher. You can feel the difference in the stack versus the previous version, which again is good. You feel like you've got a little bit more underfoot that's working with you, and it just feels really nice in terms of the overall ride. Okay, so let's do things I like. I like the introduction of the Power Run Plus. I think that's a major positive. I like the sort of heel area. It's enough foam in here to make it comfortable. It's definitely been improved versus the previous versions. I like the lacing and the lockdown of the shoe. Love the XT900. This thing's been down the canal towpaths and it's a bit slippery down there. I've had no problems. It's also been icy over here in the UK and I've had no problems with the outsole as well. The upper's good, it does the job. And what else do I like? I like the price. I think $135, $140 is like the right price for this shoe. Things I don't like, I think the sizing's a little bit questionable versus the previous versions. I always like the fact that I can stick on a 15, 16 and just go out and run. It's noticeable there. It's even like you can see where it's sort of gathering up a bit. And the arch is a little bit of a concern. It's not giving me any issues, but when I can feel an arch, it kind of does put me off a little bit. But that's probably about it. This is a major positive overhaul for the Ride series. It just brings it into or in line with what else is out there, you know, your daily trainers from everybody else, the New Balance stuff, the stuff from Brooks and Asics. It's just brought it back into the game, I would say, because the previous versions with that thin Power Run was a little bit firm, a little bit, dare I say, boring. It's very competent, but this has just brought it much more alive. So would I recommend it? Yes, I would, but I would say watch your sizing and watch that arch. I think this is a great addition to anybody's lineup. This would complement, for example, the Saucony Speed 4 or Pro 4 that's about to drop. This would complement anything that your carbon plated shoe that maybe you're using for racing. This can do a lot of your daily miles. You can go slightly longer in it than probably the previous version because it's not so firm. It's very competent at doing most stuff. I've had no issues in terms of like feeling sluggish or anything like that. The weight is probably another downside that I should have mentioned in the things I don't like. It has grown a little bit too much weight for my liking, but it's not overly noticeable and I can kind of live with it. So yeah, to sum it up, I think, and we will come back as always and do a performance review. The first impressions are the changes are very positive for this shoe, very positive indeed. They've made big gains in bringing this into the game. When you're comparing this against what's out there at the moment, even like the Nova Blast 4 and things like that, this has definitely brought it into that mix. It was a shoe that sort of stood out a little bit because it was that more traditional, firmer feeling, but this change, this revolution or evolution of the shoe has brought it back into the game. So well done, Saucony. You've done some good things here, but like I said, just watch your sizing, people. If you've got a slightly wider foot, just watch that arch as well. Be interesting to get your feedback on how that arch is. But yeah, so first impressions very positive. I'll come back once we've done 50 60 odd miles in the shoe, a couple more weeks give me, and I'll come back and we'll do that performance review and let you know how I've been getting on. I'm guessing they won't be this colour for much longer, but yeah, there we go, people. Let me know, what are you thinking about the Ride 17? Are you just going to go pick up a cheap Triumph 2021 and it will do exactly what that will do? What are you thinking about the Ride series? Let me know in the comments. But that's it from me, guys. I'll catch you later.